Since we're still approaching the main part of our sightseeing on the road to Hana, I have a few more important tips and advice to share to make this a great day. There are about 620 curves in the road. I say about. You're more than welcome to count them all and let me know if I've made a mistake in the final tally. Also along the way, there are 59 bridges. That is a number I am sure of. And of those 59 bridges, 46 of them have only one lane. Our driver today is really going to have to concentrate. Not a bad idea to make sure we're really nice to them all day. Maybe buy them an ice cream somewhere along the way, a little back rub at the end of the drive. I got your back, driver. It's important that we follow good etiquette for our drive, and also good etiquette and respect for how we visit and tour on the road to Hana. Let's do driving etiquette first. At the one-lane bridges, drivers allow cars to pass in the order that they arrived. No one likes people who push ahead of the queue. There are going to be lots of places that we'll want to stop and get out of the car. Be sure that we're able to completely pull out of the driving lane of the road anytime we stop. The last thing we want to do is be an obstruction on this narrow road under any circumstances. And please obey the no parking signs. You'll also see that there are many local people who use this road for commuting too. They know this road a whole lot better and usually want to go a little bit quicker than the tourists. Please let them pass us. In fact, if at any time the number of cars builds up behind us, pull over and let the traffic go past. You don't need to feel pressured into rushing. Just relax and chill. We might be smart and considerate, but expect others around us to be a little more careless. There's a good chance that at some stage it's going to rain, and the road can become slick, so you'll want to adjust your driving accordingly. Now, let's just touch on a slightly sensitive subject. As we tour, it's very important that we respect the local people who call East Maui home, and they're right that private property is their private property. Unfortunately, as the popularity of the road to Hana has grown, there have been increasing numbers of unpleasant incidents between locals and visitors who disregard keep out or kapu notices and go on to trespass on private property so they get to the sites they want to visit. This could be by accident, by not knowing better, or worst of all, through willful disregard and thinking, well, that doesn't apply to me. Sometimes angry confrontations have occurred. Locals are happy to share their little piece of paradise, but they don't tolerate people disrespecting their land and homes, which is entirely understandable. Today, I will only direct us to the places where visitors are welcome and don't require you to enter onto private property where it isn't permitted. All right, I know that sounded serious, but I'm sure you can appreciate why it's important.
Ok, guys, como dice la guía, hay un montón de curvas, entonces siempre hay que tener cuidado, mucha precaución. Y ahorita la ruta no se pone tan mal. Hay pedazos donde realmente es bien estrecha y solamente cabe un carro. Entonces hay que ir con cuidado. Pero es muy bonito, como pueden ver, el paisaje, pero obviamente pues siempre con la más debida precaución. Llevamos un carro atrás, no sea local. Los locales por lo regular conocen la ruta, entonces quieren ir un poquito más deprisa. Entonces lo que he hecho que es que me hago un lado.
As we wind our way in and out of ravines and gulches, there's more yet to come. We're at the base of a 10,000-foot volcano in the middle of the warm Pacific Ocean, and that creates a few interesting weather patterns. As the trade winds blow in from the northeast, that air is laden with water vapor and it's warm. When the wind hits the volcano, it's quickly forced upwards many thousands of feet. So as we go higher, the temperature gets colder and the warm, wet air turns into clouds. The clouds then become too heavy with condensation and the rain falls. since the trade winds which arrive from the northeast are the predominant airflow that hits Haleakala. The road to Hana is thick with rainforest, and rainfall is not only common, it's the norm, especially in the afternoon when those trade winds pick up. Combine that with the fact that the volcanic rock is relatively soft and the wind and water erodes the rock down quickly, well, quickly in geological time, that is. Since the weather pattern repeats itself almost every day here, the streams dig deeper and deeper into the rock. Between the water and the trade winds, the forces of erosion carve out the deep scars in the mountain that we have to drive through and around.
Sí, amor, pero no puedo dar
It
vuelta
makes for
allá.
a little bit difficult driving, but the fantastic side is that it creates the many beautiful waterfalls that we'll get to enjoy today. We will quickly understand that a pattern develops along the road. When we turn inland to drive across one of these stream-filled gulches, we'll find ourselves at a bridge. And there will often, but not every single time, there'll be a pretty little waterfall or some pristine pools that have collected the fresh mountain water. Here's a little insider tip. Not every bridge has an amazing waterfall. Sometimes we'll see a bunch of cars pulled over.
So guys, eso es a lo que me refiero con la calle bien estrecha, o sea, la vereda bien estrecha, realmente está estrecho. En algunos pedazos solo cabe un carro, entonces realmente tienes que ir pilas y a veces te tienes que parar por completo.
Next left bend, look over to our left and quickly notice the very tall pine trees. Then after we go around the bend, slow down a little, and also on our left, next to the road, we'll see a small grove of spectacular rainbow eucalyptus trees.
Eucalyptus.
Because of their colorful
es lo que oliste el otro día que veníamos. Estos, amor.
Unfortunately, there isn't really a clear place that we can pull over. And the landowner is very clear with the no trespassing signs.
Yeah.
But the good news is, further ahead is the K&I Arboretum. And there we can get out and have an up-close look at the rainbow eucalyptus and take some photos. Those pine trees I pointed out there were distinctive for their very tall, very straight trunks. Anyone know what kind of pines those are? They're Norfolk pines, and they could be used as the masts on sailing ships in the days of tall ships. Now, they aren't native here. Sometimes, forward-thinking captains would plant Norfolk pines in places where they did not actually exist naturally, so that a source of suitable trees might be available for future ships in need of repairs. In fact, there are some long, elegant lanes of Norfolks in the Kapalua area in West Maui.
No sé si hay una parada acá, no marca nada, ¿no?
No, nomás digo que si querías bajar.
Mira, aquí está una parada. Ok, esos son los puentes donde solamente cabe un carro, entonces tienes que dejar pasar o te tienen que dejar pasar para poder cruzar el puente. Pueden ver al lado izquierdo tenemos la costa, entonces.
All right, we're starting to get the feel for what driving on the road to Hana is like, and how the road is so torturous because we constantly have to negotiate our way around streams and gulches. It's hard to believe that back in 1878, the Sugar partners Alexander and Baldwin, using only very rudimentary tools, physical strength of workers, and no formal engineering training, managed to create a ditch, tunnel, and flume system, all gravity fed through this challenging environment to direct water from the wet side of Haleakala all the way to central Maui. The government of the day wanted to encourage them to get the job done quickly, or else they'd lose their rights to the project and the water to irrigate their sugarcane plantations. The incentive was pretty strong, and the project had to be completed in just 2 years. They just finished in time, and this guaranteed A and B water rights from 6 streams for 20 years to begin with. Today, much of the old system has been replaced by new routes, but essentially the concept is still exactly the same.
Aquí sí tenemos que hacer una parada cuando podamos para ver eso un poquito.
Ya viene una.
¿Viene una? Ahí ha de estar, ¿no? Huawolu, whatever.
Hawaii.
Esos son paneles solares. So guys, la segunda vez es que hacemos esto en nuestro viaje.
Aloha.
Aloha. Aloha, guys.
Hey, if you're interested to have a look at some of the ditches, channels, and water collection methods, just before we drive onto the next bridge on our side of the road, you'll see some parking for one, maybe two cars can fit there. And there's a short trail from there to an area where you can see some of these features.
Eso está hablando que hicieron unos como canales para regar. Y no, obviamente en ese tiempo no tenían maquinarias, entonces lo hicieron con pues a pala y pura herramienta rudimentaria y lo lograron, lo hicieron y solo usando la fuerza de la gravedad. Muy interesante, es lo bonito de la guía, que no solo te va dejando saber, sino que vas aprendiendo un montón de cosas acerca de la isla y pues es muy educativo, ¿no? Ese es un plus. Entonces,
how have you been doing with learning and using a few Hawaiian words while you're here? Now, don't be shy. Make sure you're saying lots of alohas when you're interacting with other people. And of course, mahalo or thank you. That's always appreciated. Now, there are two words used for directions, and they're pretty unique, but make perfect sense when living on an island like Maui. Makai means towards the ocean.
Makai.
The opposite is mauka, or essentially towards the mountains, or even towards the middle. So as we drive over the next one-lane bridge, I suggest we look mauka, or uphill and through the dense rainforest, where we'll catch a quick sight of the rockwork of one of the elevated irrigation channels. Now, there is no need to stop here. Just a quick drive-by is fine.
wow, ve eso, amor. Esos son eucaliptos.